Today you're going to add motion to your programs. So we're going to start by looking at two variables called mouse X and mouse Y, and they're built in to processing. So before we draw anything, let's do this. Let's start from a blank program. So go ahead and empty out whatever you had inside draw. And actually, let's just draw an ellipse because it's a great idea just to make sure that you are starting from a working program. Because if you don't start from a working program, then it'll be even harder to debug later after you have added all your code. So as long as you can display an ellipse in the middle, you're good. So let's go ahead and add just a regular print statement. And I want you to print just mouse X. And we'll run it, and we'll see what happens. And you should go ahead and type this along with me. So you see your window here, but then as I move my mouse left and right, you can see down in the console, it's actually displaying my mouse position. So down here, it's 2, 0, and then here it's not quite 400, and then here it's not quite 800. So it's displaying my mouse's X coordinate. And then you can do the same thing with mouse Y. And like I said, these variables are built in. So you could have said, int mouse X at the top here, but it's already been done for you. And the values are updated all the time, as you can see with the real mouse X and mouse Y coordinates. So now that I'm displaying Y, you see it going from 2 at the top down to not quite 800 at the bottom. But if you wanted to, you could display them, in a nice coordinate pair. So I'll display a parenthesis, and then mouse X, and then a comma, and then mouse Y, and then a close parenthesis. And it looks like this. And so now you can see the mouse position all the time. All right, let's use this idea now. So instead of displaying these variables, let's delete that. And let's go ahead and change these two parts of the ellipse. So this is the X coordinate where your ellipse is centered, and this is the Y coordinate. So instead of having a fixed number, let's give it a number that changes. Because mouse X, as you saw, is just a number, but it's a number that's updated with your mouse's X coordinate. Same thing for mouse Y. So now we're going to draw an ellipse, but we're going to draw an ellipse wherever your mouse is located. And you'll see now that draw is actually running very quickly. Draw is looping about 30 times a second. So as we run it, you'll see this nice ellipse getting painted wherever your mouse is as you move it around. Very pleasant. You might wonder why you get this kind of trail behind you. And the reason why is because every single time draw loops, we're painting a circle where the mouse is, but all the old circles that we painted are still there because we're just painting continuously onto the same canvas. So it might be nice to wipe the canvas clean every single frame. So you can do that with the background command. Usually you'd have the background command run at the top of your draw method because the first thing you want to do is wipe it clean before you draw anything else. And then inside the background command, you fill it with a color. So if we want white, white is all the red, all the green, all the blue. So as much red, green, and blue as possible. And so now if we run it again, you'll see what happens. So now we've got a white background and the ball moving. Let's make the ball a color also. So if I want to fill in the ball, let's make the fill command, and I'm going to fill it with a color. And the color is going to be, let's make it no red, lots of green, no blue. So I want a green ball. So pleasing, much nicer. Okay,